It works in a certain way, largely that I have to go out there and make things happen, situations, with a particular outcome in mind. I go through the entire day with this formula. It's from the inside out. I have certain desires, certain outcomes, and if I can get the will to do what I want, I will be happy. I use all my power, all my energy to move towards those desired outcomes. Spirituality invites me to explore a different way of moving through this world. Not so much focus on those external outcomes, much more focus inside, rather than going towards. I go inwards and upwards. Go deep inside, being moved to a single point, an eternal understanding of myself. And that when I really see cannot be found there in physical. As I focus on the sound, a lot of the complications naturally fall away. This focus on the self requires I let go of so much. And that helps me to move beyond sound into a more quiet space, more calm space, simple space, where I can explore what do we see. Inner peace, lightness, freedom from fear or insecurity. Just to feel completely comfortable inside. And the more I bring it to this quiet, calm space, the more it feels I'm receiving what I seek. I do feel more calm, more light, more comfortable. A very unique form of energy or power is accumulating within me. Getting more power. Design this. This is the optimal balance to very peaceful power for desires. I still act, I still express, I still create, but now driven by the outcomes in the outer world. I become a contributor of peace to the outer world. And that just increases the peace inside. Rather than taking, I become one who shares. For me, this becomes the essence of quality of life. Om Shanti. Shanti, to into with Ramji. Tonight's session is spiritual identity and unlimited impact. Yes. So it's been talked in terms of the relationship between this aspect of who I am becomes reality and how that affects everything. So even just listening to the commentary, just about what does Raja Yoga have to do with something we call income and outcome. So perhaps, Sister Judy, if you could share about that in terms of why that would be, why someone would be interested in that. I would say on a day-to-day level, sort of just in daily situations, we're very focused on outcomes. So for this to be actually meaningful for souls, it'd be interesting to hear, this a bit of an introduction and a bridge to the point of this topic. So I hope you don't to be sharing recent experience. I think you're having on Publisher, which is one of the Microsoft Suite. So this software that you can use to create art projects if you choose or publications. And text to be a certain size and shape you were forcing it to, and trying not to have hyphenation happening, etc. You're showing it's quite a bit of work. The discovery that there's actually a single button you can click that will do the same thing, and they're trying the same of work to get the same outcome just by clicking that single button. And I think that's the promise of spirituality. Is that it is often that's why to say to trust spirituality because it seems very direct. It's not, but in contrast to what we've been doing to go through the day, it seems very indirect. So it has two powerful effects on this. It fills the emptiness inside. So it's a deep come. So filling the emptiness inside is a bit exciting. It's very hungry. You can think about his work and get some food. What can I consume? So taking, but no, I can't eat anymore. I'm so full. So it's actually contented, spiritually speaking. So we design MS. This is very important because actions to some specific consequence, which is the opposite of before. Short term, it seems to work in consequences of the price to perform based on this nuisance. The first thing she does, it fills us up this income. So then where does the joy come from to purification? And this the soul is so spiritual. It's possible to do those things to be driven desires. The closest we can probably get to understand is when she is a small child. You need them, so which don't care what it looks like or if anyone likes it. Just expressing this pure expression. So it's quite beautiful. It's really beautiful to expressing the beauty of the scene. It doesn't so enhances or enriches the beauty of the human spirit. So true, kind, generous, respectful, integrity, desire for recognition. Difficult for us to see what that does is create desire for conflict. So, so different experience of expression is free of desire for outcome. So your sharing will become full. Does it happen gradually? Does it kind of come in ebbs? Is it like challenging and sometimes easy? The reason why I'm asking is because, yes, I do hear souls mention sometimes like I feel like I'm moving ahead and making progress, and then suddenly I feel like I'm stuck. And what do you do when you're stuck? So that because what happens is that we hear a lot of, I guess, not so healthy ideas in terms of what purity means, but what religion means, and possibly maybe what spirituality means, that there's a lot of forcing things or giving up things, or there is a loss. So there are, meaningful moments, attainments and moments, that's great. But then when things feel stuck for someone, what do they do so that they don't kind of go back and revert to using some of these old habits that we may have? Something I appreciate a lot about Shailen's huge component of it is spiritual knowledge or wisdom. So we're really equipped with a lot of spiritual understanding. And if I take it in properly and sincerely, it allows me to understand the phases I'm going to go through, so I'm not surprised or jump ship when certain things happen. So, for example, we're given that metaphor of taking homeopathic medicine, that it is going to heal. Maybe it requires tremendous patience. So that's important. It's not going to be as immediate as allopathic, but it will some results. And also, as I take it, the symptoms of the trying to recover from it. So I think getting worse. But because I have the understanding, this is part of how it works, I'll observe that, jump ship, and stay to the end. So usually that equips us with understanding what this is going to look like. So we have some that tingle is connected to us. It's a bit like how to complete the sentence. What do we think of something that's actually quite toxic or healthy for me? If that loss, if that letting go is creating space for something that's very healing to happen, is that a loss? That's a key part of Raj Yoga, because we're going to have to release habits and addictions that are creating sorrow. But it's all to be able to take in what actually is very healthy for the soul. So I just need to have a full picture. It's going to challenge my old ideas, absolutely. But again, the can increase the understanding. It's anxious or concerned, disturbed or distressed by these different phases that are going to happen. It's up because I'm constantly averaging stuff. So perhaps just listen to your share. Thinking of something so basic, yet so essential in the study. It's so can you share what your experiences of what that actually practically means, so that I start to let go of the image, I let go of usually just think like, what does that, what has that experience been feeling like for you? Because I just what I heard from a couple of students earlier the last couple of days is like, I'm supposed to, I need to say these things, I need to think this way, and I'm supposed to feel this way, but that's not happening. if we use the physical example, when physically trained some say in the gym, they might be kind with injuries or misalignments or poor mechanics, not necessarily, it's the same, even if they don't come with any concerns or issues. What I like to do is ask them to perform an exercise. First off, we tell them what's going to happen, we model it, and then we actually do it. So they don't just watch and listen, they actually have to do the exercise. And then I always ask, how does that feel? And so I often get the sense spirituality is a bit the same. So we hear in the soul, we recognize there's something very valuable here. It doesn't stop there, actually, to deed of being subconscious. We're talking about total mind in the center of the form. Interesting. It's so these various features or attributes of the soul. So I don't want to just think about it. Actually doing as if I'm constantly doing something. Obviously, doesn't feel is the question. How does it feel? To it's really much. It's like that because you click. Just click it and things happen naturally. So I'm going to have a switch in the experience of myself. So I'm going to see so conscious how so this is really so just do it, go there. There's a fear factor because the essence of soul consciousness is detachment from all physicality, from everything. Always have to find out. It's one visualizing point of light in the center of the forehead. Go to the experience. He is mine. It's a very deep experience of detaching, which is extremely freeing if I'm with the courage to explore it. If I do, so so critical, actually quite so. And to the things that I was missing, some see they're quite valuable. So I don't have to think, they try and figure out how to subconscious, just practice it, just go there, explore the attributes of being a soul and feel them. Actually do it. Do it. Just as actually different hues of myself doing so do them. So that is the to figure out how to do those various attributes of being a soul. Perhaps quotations of purpose challenging situations where perhaps maybe the pull, the gravity of body consciousness or ego, it may be challenging, may not. This is a part of me asking the question, or perhaps maybe more quiet and less stressful again situations. Maybe when you're driving the car, what has your experience been? Do you really feel that I am separate from the body and an experience of myself? Why am I asking the question is because image is a huge thing. What has that experience been like for you to identify with the body and therefore not the image, this reputation? What has that been experienced for you in situations where often we could feel or fear being insulted, criticized, etc.? It's funny being walking through. I just returned There was a time so I didn't have, I looked kind of crazy actually. I didn't have actual um, check, some computer. And it's actually seven simply it's to some sentence. It's usually it's like doesn't mean it's so actually it's a very full sentence. It's like a change of heart comes subconscious. How you have so it's deep self-respect and respect for others. It relationships. So subconsciousness changes the heart. It's to become inducing some kind of that's incredibly different. So just like so surprise since we some IT issues. I was going to question. Oftentimes when you study civilization, so waking up, and you're saying it's not about picturing a point of light. Can you clarify that a bit more in terms of like, is it that we have amnesia and waking up? Part of it is because when you're saying filling up, is it that when I wake up, I'm actually already full? Again, I already have access to it. It's just that I've lost access to that. Or is it like this? Of course, it's not, but it feels like soul's like, oh my gosh, fill up. Okay, this is going to be a very laborious process. It's going to take forever to fill up because I don't feel it. Being a soul, I feel very empty. Mm-hmm. Of course, a huge part of Shiva is this relationship with what you could call the source, the supreme soul. That's ultimate. It's the experience of filling up. That's how it feels to us as we connect to that being. But are we filling up? Or is it simply connecting to that being? It's a true self to emerge. It's at the same place, I believe. That is a catalyst for this fullness to come into the soul. So, despite and have to say incredibly impatient at the best of times, depends on able to find directions. There's an interesting principle of fitness that sounds to me. So someone is really current can behind the shops and but someone is very accurate. It does for makes huge gains. So in this study, finding directions accurately is quite critical in terms of how and start to notice differences in the self was very important. Those differences from engaging the self and actually so careful. Right. It's just really how to detach because a compassionate observer of everything, including the self. I think that is the foundation of considering myself to be a soul. It's being able to observe in such Trove. Sister Julie, so why don't we have a little reflection? Physical some boundaries. Very similar when it comes to spiritual endeavor. The space someone prepared in this case is your space, my input, and guest is the self. Consciousness of the self to create space that is conducive to the endeavor, a space inside is very patient, very calm, something he soothing and very open. Since I've considered myself to be a soul, the first understanding I have is that there will be opposition from us, opposition from forgiveness, space inside. It's okay. These different tensions that emerge, so drawn, so fascinated, so pulled to understand myself to be a soul. Because in my heart, I know this is the most respectful vision I can have on myself and others. Om Shanti. Shanti. Thank you, Sister Julie. Thank you for joining us. Just a kind reminder that meditation is actually Sunday, July 25th. And so usually that's why we don't actually say it's the third Saturday, because things can move around a little bit. So the next one is on Saturday, July 25th. I think it's 12:15 to 1:30 p.m. at the Academy. So it is super helpful to register on Eventbrite, but definitely most importantly, make sure to check in at the front desk at the Academy. And so we do have drop-in sessions at the Inner Peace Center as well. English is on Mondays, 6:30 to 7:30. Hindi meditation on Wednesdays as well as on Sundays, again, 6:30 to 7:30. And we move on the interviews on the Tuesdays. Sometimes they are the experience sessions if we're not available, but also online on Sundays at 6:30 to 7:30 as well. Please visit our website. We do have some other upcoming sessions as well, and we will try to post that online as soon as we have more clarity. Thank you for joining. Om Shanti.